Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some absolutely crazy news when it comes to the state of California and a bunch of other states, which we'll get into, that are now effectively banning computers. Now, you guys have literally heard me right. That is not clickbait. This is not like a sensationalized title or whatever. We literally are having the literal state of California banning computers now, and people are actually having their orders like canceled. They're not being delivered, and it's just all around really bad. And as well, this also may go in effect to a lot of like the PlayStation 5 and Xboxes too, because a lot of people may go and actually start buying those up instead if they can't even actually have like a proper working computer. So a lot of crazy stuff. This has been one of the weirdest things we've actually seen so far all throughout today. So let's go and talk about it. As well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed for our PS5 giveaway, just in case you guys can't go and actually buy a PC. At least you can go get a PlayStation 5, as well just for gaming news like this and restock news or whatever. Amazon links down below for the PS5 disc, digital console controller, Twitter and Twitch stream as well if you guys want to follow on up. And of course, sign up for Weeble with the link down below. Deposit $100. You guys go get free stock, free money. Go on, basically, you guys go buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency. You guys go and get free Bitcoin. Leave your comments down below because this one is a crazy one, especially if you guys are in one of these states that are affected by this. And oh my lord, this is just not what I was expecting to go and see all throughout today. So let's go talk about this. So as I mentioned before, we now have confirmation that several United States are literally banning gaming computers. Like I'm not clickbaiting. This is just the weirdest story ever. So basically, PC gaming is about to get a whole lot less impressive across several United States states. California, Colorado, Hawaii, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington are banning the most powerful gaming PCs due to the new power consumption regulations. As a result, retailers are blocking orders containing top components to those 6 states. In effect, it's a government-issued gaming PC ban that could also impact other hobbies and industries. So things like, even things like Xbox, gaming PC, etc., etc. Which also, once again, this is insane. Like, this is literally the government literally banning computers. Like, I'm like that almost sounds like one of those really weird clickbait titles you see on like Reddit or like on YouTube, and you're like, okay, like just instant dislike, but then you're like, wait, this is actually happening. So is California banning gaming PCs? So California, Colorado, Hawaii, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington are beginning to prevent gamers from buying high-spec gaming PCs due to power consumption regulations. Adding certain components to a PC can now actually result in it breaching power consumption rules, effectively locking gamers in these states out of the highest settings and best gaming experience. So basically, really roughly, it's just that a lot of like these, they're trying to be a little bit worried more about the actual overall power consumption. They don't want things utilizing too much power. They want things kind of soaking up power. And some of these places too as well maybe have like power like inefficiency, so it's just harder for them to go run things like AC 24/7. We've actually had a lot of people and like a lot of big companies saying like, hey, even in Texas, do not run your AC certain hours. We're trying our best to like, lower down the actual consumption on the grid, like energy grids, so we don't have like failures or like power outages and stuff like that. So this is kind of like kind of explaining why they do it, because they just don't have the extra power and they're trying to go and limit people, gaming for 12 hours in an AC room the entire time. So the new rules have actually been coming since 2016 with the completion forecast for July 2021. California residents can read the compliance advisory on appliance efficiency regulations for computers and monitors here. Basically, just go and Google if you guys want to. And although California isn't the only state adopting these regulations, it's arguably the most surprising because it is the home of Silicon Valley. So you have all these really big tech businesses like Facebook, all that stuff all over in Silicon Valley. So you have a lot of people in like say Google, YouTube, utilizing these computers, utilizing this consumption, and actually having more higher end stuff to render code, actually code stuff, develop stuff, etc., etc. Desktop PCs and monitor combos can actually consume several times as much energy as laptops, notebooks, and tablet computers. As a result, they're a specific focus of the new legislation. Although desktop builds aren't banned outright, consumers won't be able to outfit them with all the highest end components. So in theory, like they are still able to go and get like maybe like a nice mid-tier computer, but like think if you want to get like a 3080 Ti, 3090, really good CPU, like really high-end monitors, try to push for like 4K gaming, it might make it like really more difficult, especially if you guys are getting this from like just pre-builds too as well. Because like they're literally banned. So as a result, they're in a specific focus of the new legislation. Although desktop builds aren't banned outright, consumers won't be able to outfit them with all the highest end components. According to one Redditor, Dell actually refused them, which we're going to talk about in a second over there. Dell refuses to deliver PCs containing a Ryzen 5800 CPU and a NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060 Ti GPU and pretty much anything above that. So like think like a 3070, 3080, 3090, stuff like that. And that's kind of rough because that's pretty much like a good, like above average build. Like if you have a 3060, you could probably play pretty much every game on like a very, very high quality setting. It's not the top tier like a 3090, but it's very high up there, current generation, and even then it's still also very energy efficient, so it makes it a little bit harder for future cards to also be relevant. So in the future, as components presumably become even more power hungry, more potential builds could be taken off the table, and then also game consoles like the Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5 aren't coming under fire. However, that actually could also go and increase in the actual adoption rates too as well. So two different things on that too, and this is why it could be maybe either really good or really bad. Maybe really good for Sony and Microsoft because they'll have a lot more actual people trying to get in the console grind, because that means that they have a chance to get consoles that's less power adaptive. If they're literally being banned from buying higher end PCs, a console is a nice secondary alternative. But as well, there is always that secondary chance that they could also be banned too if they're also not utilized and optimized as much. Now, I do think it's a little bit less likely for this because it's more of a gaming console versus a very high end gaming PC. But this also maybe can make it a little bit harder for all of you guys out there trying to get your consoles as well, because you also have another big states where they can't really turn into PC gaming. And I've had a lot of people in my community be like, hey, it's not worth it for a PS5 or Xbox or whatever. I'm just going to get a PC. Well, now you may even want to go and switch it up a little bit more too. And as well, I like how this article even kind of turns into another news. Go and download the new iPhone update, which is kind of funny too as well. But basically, I also want to go talk about this too, because this was mentioned. The Dell is actually now being banned from selling its powerful gaming PCs in California because it consumes more energy than the liberal state's green laws allow. So basically, if you guys kind of same thing for this, the continuation. So basically, for the footnotes, Dell is banned from selling its brand new Alienware gaming system in California. This also is including 3 of the Alienware Aurora R12 gaming desktop systems with the 11th gen Intel Core processor. And also Dell's Alienware consumes 63 kilowatts a year when idle, but can actually use up to 563 kilowatts when the CPU is stressed. So things like you're streaming, recording YouTube videos, you're just playing games for a long time, playing a very high-end game. And also California law restricts anything made after July 1st to 50 or 60 or 70 kilowatts an hour. So in theory, like it should be there when it's idle. But I mean, if you're using a computer, you're browsing stuff, watching stuff, going on Netflix or whatever, in theory, it's going to probably always be higher than that. And that's kind of why it may be getting a little bit restricted on over there too. Kind of rough. So basically, computer maker Dell has been banned from shipping its gaming system Alienware to customers in California due to power consumption regulations, and as well as the other states we mentioned too. The company's website reads, the Alien Aurora R12 gaming desktop without the 11th gen Intel Core processor is the only model that actually can be shipped to all 50 states. The other 3 systems with these powerful chips, which range from $1,100 to $2,400, actually cannot. And according to Dell, its energy-intensive Alienware consumes 63 kilowatts a year when idle, but can actually use, as we mentioned up there, a little bit higher too. And basically, California law just saying that's way too on the high end. As well as also the other states that we mentioned too as well first on top of that. And this is really rough too because it's like more so just now starting to take effect. And as you mentioned with like the previous article, it's from literally this month. So by the end of this month, we're going to be having a lot more restrictions. And this also might mean some kind of bad news too, because there might be a lot more people out there trying to get consoles now if they can't go for this high-end gaming. So according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, the state is the 4th largest electricity producer in the nation and accounted for about 5% of United States utility scale, basically since 2019. With these details in mind, California officials began releasing a different list of restrictions every few years, with Tier 1 restrictions rolling out in January 2019, which allowed more of 50, 80, or 100 kilowatts a year for systems made from them up until July 2021, which once again, that's literally us right now, so not kind of good. And now the Tier 2 just launched now this past July 1st, which also does include these very, very high-end gaming systems, as we've been mentioned throughout this article. There is now a warning label under the gaming systems on Dell's website that reads, this product cannot be shipped to the states of California, Colorado, Hawaii, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington due to power consumption regulations adopted by these states. Any orders placed that are bound for these states will be canceled, and a California Energy Commission, the CEC, spokesperson told the Register that staff was unaware of vendors not shipping to California as a result of the Tier 2 requirements taking effect. So basically just all around really, really intriguing stuff. There is thankfully a way to actually go and fix this on too as well. If they test the products and also give them actually proper approved stuff through third-party certification, they can still in theory go and sell them. But this is just a very, very weird conundrum where literally computers are just being banned. And once again, I think a lot of that might lead to more people maybe wanting to go and try to buy these consoles. The Xbox, we even saw the Xbox in the first article, and make a major footnote where it's like the Xbox Series X and PS5 might be some very major details you want to be on the lookout for, because that means there actually might be a way more higher demand, especially in those states. And as well as also very bad too for the long term, because as gaming keeps on getting bigger and bigger and bigger and more efficient and more energy, like more power usage wise, that means that even maybe more states may also be banning stuff, especially in California. So I want to hear your thoughts down below, because this is definitely not news I was expecting to go and cover as well. I just appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the PS5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 disc, a digital console controller, Twitter and Twitch stream as well. And of course, sign up for Weeble with the link down below. Deposit $100. You guys go get free stock, free money. Go and basically you guys go buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency. You guys go and get free Bitcoin. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully you guys don't live in California. Ugh.